Lawmakers continue to argue over a two-year state budget after not meeting the original July 1st deadline. Yesterday, lawmakers passed a continued resolution to keep the state funded until the end of the month, but that's not coming without a cost to you. WNCT's Josh Birch digging into how much this issue impacts taxpayers. Josh.
Well, Angela, on top of the yearly salary each representative receives, they also get per diem pay each day that they're working. And representatives I spoke with say they are continuing to collect that pay since they're still at work, even though their deadline is long past.
We're still paying legislators with taxpayer money to be in session when our budget should have been passed in July.
It's something most in the East don't even realize, the cost of keeping the General Assembly in Raleigh up and running. It costs an extra $840,000 for every additional month the legislation meets compared to when the session is adjourned. That's about $50,000 a day. On top of the more than $13,000 in salary representatives collect, they also receive $104 in per diem each day, money many are still collecting.
As we continue to work, we certainly need to be able to be here and get that work done.
I spoke with Representative Brian Brown, who says many can't afford to stay in Raleigh without that money. He also says he'd rather have a budget that takes longer but is right for North Carolina than a bad budget for everyone.
We need to ensure that the budget that is passed is not a budget that's a rush budget, but that is a budget that takes a serious, measured approach to what we are looking at, from policy changes to the budgetary output itself.
I called and emailed every representative from the East, but only heard back from a few. Each person I heard back from says they're still collecting their per diem pay to make sure the job gets done right. But some in the East don't necessarily agree.
For my job, I get paid when I go to work. They seem to be getting paid when they're not actually completing the task at hand. So that's a little bit frustrating.
If they can't pass the budget by the deadline, that any money left over should go back into resources for the communities and for the state.
Now, Representative Michael Spitale says those same taxpayers would be even more upset if they rushed a budget that wasn't right for the state. The cost for the legislature's summer session is now nearing $1 million. Josh Birch, 9 on your side.